Because ultimately what I was really trying to do is like, I want to control what's going on inside this game. I want to control what they're saying. And if they don't say what I like, then I'm going to kick them out. I'm going to do something, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to call them names. I'm going to get my retribution. They're going to be punished no matter what. Welcome back to another episode of Life, Recovery, and the Pursuit of Sanity. My name is Josh Logan, and it's been a while since I have uploaded a video, partly because, well, I kind of got in my head a little bit. I wasn't getting the views that I wanted. I'm not getting the subscribers that I wanted. I'm not getting the likes. I'm not getting just the people commenting and the people sharing. So I got in my head a little bit, and I was just like, I need to take a break. But there's something that's been on my heart as of late. And in recovery, I like to control everything. I like to control what I hear, what I see, what I do, what everybody around me does. And when I don't have that control, I get irritated. I mean, we're not talking just a little bit irritated. I'm cussing people out on the road. I'm doing things that I normally wouldn't do, and it really kind of came to light that I struggle with not having to control everything, and I really came to the understanding that there is one thing only that I can control, and that is how I respond to what goes on around me. That's it. I cannot control what other people do, what other people say. I cannot control what the government does, what happens on the streets, what happens in other people's houses. I can't even control what my wife does, what my kids do, what my mom does. I can't control anything. There's one thing, though, I can control, and that is how I respond to everything that's going on around me. So how do you get to that place where it's not just a matter of knowing that, hey, I can't control it, and then, just giving up control? I wish it was that easy, but it's really not. How do you get to a place where you can legitimately say, I can't control it, I'm going to control how I respond? Well, for me, what that means is changing the story that goes on inside of my head. Everybody has a story that goes on inside of their head when something happens. Every single person. We all have a narrative. We all have something that is brewing in our heads when something happens, when somebody says something. Because really, ultimately, like if somebody says something to me, I can choose whether to be pissed off at that or not. I could choose to let that eat inside of me. Or I could choose to say, Josh, you are an amazing man. They struck a nerve by what they said. And I play this game. I'll just go in a little bit of detail. I play this game called Clash of Clans. I love this game. This game is fun for me. I enjoy the strategy of it. I enjoy the challenge that it brings. But there's one thing that in the particular clan I'm in, these guys, some of these guys are just complete douchebags. They're like 10-year-old kids talking smack. And sometimes, and I have a very strong personality, and they sometimes like to say stuff about me. And it's taken me a while to get to the point that be like, okay, they're douchebags. I can't stop it. I can't control it. I'm just going to ignore it. Because ultimately what I was really trying to do is like, I want to control what's going on inside this game. I want to control what they're saying. And if they don't say what I like, then I'm going to kick them out. I'm going to do something, I'm going to freak out. I'm going to call them names. I'm going to get my retribution. They're going to be punished no matter what. And that's not the way to do it. And so, back to control. And that's ultimately, you know, when it comes to my YouTube channel, because the message that I'm sharing is actually from my heart. And it does take a little bit out of me, actually a lot out of me, to pour out what is going on inside of me, only to have small amount of views, only to, you know, to see a small amount of people it supposedly affects, you know. And the comments that I get from the people that I know, they're good. It touches them. It works in their life. It gets them thinking, you know, and that really does bless me. I think I had unrealistic expectations too of what this channel was going to do, and you know, not necessarily knowing just the traction that I'm going to end up needing. But ultimately, I have to do my due diligence. I have to control what I say, about myself, the narrative that goes on, you know, and so just let's follow this narrative thing a little bit, because we all have it going on. And I hope I'm not rabbit trailing enough, because I'm not editing this video. I am going to upload it as is, with a minor few little tweaks for color and all that good stuff. But talking about the narrative, so when my kids, they do something that I don't like. Let's just say I ask them to do their chore, and they don't really want to. They kind of get a little, not necessarily mouthy, because they're very respectful kids, but you know, throw a little like, you know. And for me, what it does is it almost feels like, hey, you're not respecting me. You must think that I'm a piece of crap, that I'm not valuable enough to do what I have asked you to do. And so that's what's going on inside my head. Man, they don't respect me. They must think that I'm some pushover. And there's a whole lot of things going on inside of my head, and that's not the truth. Maybe they just don't want to do it, and it doesn't have anything to do with me, and I've just made that whole thing about me. And like one of my sons, he loses things. I mean, for the love of God, this guy loses things, and I'm not going to call him out. I only have 3 kids, so you could figure it out for yourself. But I take offense when he loses stuff. Like somehow, when he does that, it's a reflection on me. It's a reflection on how I've done as a parent, how I've raised him, that I haven't shown him the proper ways to maintain control or maintain possession of the things that he has. And so when he loses something, it's a direct reflection of me and my parenting and me as a person. And I get upset. And, you know, so changing the narrative that it's not my fault that he loses stuff. He just has a lot going on, and he struggles to do it. And it's nothing to do with anything that I've done, anything that I've said, anything that I've lacked to do as a parent. But it has to do with him and him figuring out how to organize his stuff in a way. But it has nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. And so changing the narrative, changing the story, because not everything is about you. Not everything is about me. When my wife comes home from work and she's had a rough day, her rough day is no reflection in any way, shape, or form anything that I have done, anything that I have said, anything that I can control. She just had a rough day. My job as a husband is to allow her the freedom and the safe space. I hate that freaking word, but we're going to say it anyway. Freedom and safe space to talk to me about how her day went. And it's not my job to fix. It is not my job to tell her what she should or shouldn't have done. It is my job to shut my mouth and listen. And I don't always do a good job of that. I'm getting a lot better. And so, think for yourself. What am I trying to control? And how do I understand and be able to apply the fact that I can only control myself and how I respond? And what story are you telling yourself when something goes wrong, when something doesn't go your way? What story is brewing inside of your head? Because if you didn't know that you had a story going on after watching this video, you will. Just pay attention, because that is so important to understanding the narrative and understanding how we can change the way that we respond, which is ultimately the most important thing. I'm going to end on this quote, and I love it, and I have no idea who said it, none whatsoever, but the quote goes like this: be the change that you would like to see. Powerful stuff. I appreciate you watching this video. Give it a thumbs up. I don't care if you liked it or not. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share this video so other people can have a message of hope. Because this isn't all about just addiction. This is about recovery. And we're all recovering from something. We're all struggling with something. And it doesn't always have to be with drugs and alcohol. It could be with porn. It could be with food. It could be with relationships. It could be with so many things. Everybody needs to have a message of hope. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Have an amazing day.